You're about to listen to our conversation with Claire Dalton, the founder of Not-for-Profit People and Social Care People. In this episode, we learn about the importance of investor relationships and how Claire had the determination to buy out her investors. We also learn why your first hire is so crucial to a business's success and the importance of celebrating the small wins. We hope you enjoy. Let's go right back then. So 2018, first business launches, right? So give us the build up to that.
Okay. So myself and my business partner, we worked together for another organisation, very passionate about the not-for-profit sector. That organisation decided that the not-for-profit sector was not something that they particularly wanted to focus on to a big extent anymore, and disbanded the not-for-profit team. At that point, she left and I was in a bit of a transition period where I knew that I wanted to focus on charities. I knew that it was something that I felt I could do as well as I'd done it before and better. So we always had lots of ideas about how we'd like to progress and grow. And I left that job. I went and did a interim job as a recruitment manager within a large social care organisation over in Oxfordshire. So that gave me a really good insight of seeing social care recruitment from the other side, so rather than an agency but as a direct in-house recruiter, which was really eye-opening. She did a stint within a sort of contingency agency. Meanwhile, we found some investors who came on board with us and gave us our initial investment into the business. So, we set up in, I think, sort of September 2018. And we grew really fast, really quickly because of the background that we already had within the sector, the people we knew, the things that we'd already done. And we did a lot of work in the background before we launched the business. So, it was sort of from my conservatory, from a desk. You know how it is. Yeah, we sort of flitted around. Our investors were in Bedford and they had another business, so we went and hot desked with them for a bit, but that was quite far to go. And grew really, really quickly. Soon needed staff, so we got a member of staff. And then, so for a 5.5, 6-year-old business, we've moved offices. Well, I've had my conservatory, the Bedford office. Then we're on our third office in Olney. So, we've sort of grown quite quickly, and I think we're pretty settled for at least the next 3 years now with the staff that we've got and the office space that we've got. So, it's been good.
And within that first year, because obviously that's the stage you mentioned, like first employee and stuff, we've got our first employee now in Matt. What was that time like, if you can cast your mind back to it? What was the mindset like?
Very determined and confident that we knew what we were doing. I think like I said, we grew quickly, so we were profitable within the first 2 months of running the business, which I don't think happens very often. Yeah. And we've been profitable every year since then. From a commercial point of view, we were quite relaxed with it, which is why we felt we could sort of invest. But we've always been quite cautious and investing when we're ready, as opposed to putting lots in. And we want to make sure that when we employ staff, we take that very seriously, and that we can accommodate that for a good while, even if everything was to fall out of the bottom. So we're up to 8 members of staff now. We're happy with that for the time being. But future plans are potential growth up to probably about 15 to 20 eventually. Don't know.
Nice.
We'll see.
Did you have... We had an ambition from the very start where we wanted to get to, scale it and so on.
Yeah.
Did you have that with you and your business partner? Did you have, okay, this is a plan, this is ambition, this is how long it's going to take? What did that look like?
Yeah, so we had a sort of 5-year rough plan, but it has been quite flexible.
Yeah.
We had 3 other directors.
Okay.
So at the time, so it was almost a case of too many chiefs.
Yeah.
We went through COVID and everything changed. And obviously, because we launched in 2018, we had sort of 18 months and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
We had 1 other paid member of staff at that point and 3 directors working in the business, 1 part-time, 2 full-time. So there's 4 of us. We furloughed the admin, and then the other directors sort of, I think, maybe got a bit nervous. As I said, social care kept us afloat, paid the bills.
Yeah.
Luckily, we hadn't invested too much in anything, and particularly we had an office at the time. We did get the bridging grant that was available, so that helped us out. But we made a decision as a team to buy out the other directors after COVID. So yeah, we sat down. It wasn't going. I think everybody had different make on where they wanted it to go, and not everybody worked on day-to-day within the business. So it's quite difficult to make sure everybody's happy. Myself and my business partner now, we very much push in the same direction. We had a clear plan really all the time that we wanted to focus on social care. It was just when that was going to happen. And then we've also developed an agency side and an executive search side this year as well. So yeah, that's always been on the back burner. So we've got sort of 3 divisions within the company.
Did you always think you'd run your own business?
No, no, I didn't at all. It wasn't something that was on the agenda really. I was quite happy in the job that I was in. You know, I worked part-time, had 2 kids. It was, I think, for me, the only reason I did it, and I'll hold my hands up to this, is because I'm quite risk averse, was because we had 3 people offering us a wage to launch this business and invest in it. And at the time, I wasn't in a position where I could turn around and say, I can't take a wage for 6 months or something like that. I just wasn't in a position to do that. So, yeah, knowing now what I knew then, I would never have sort of gone down the investor route, and I would have done it myself 100 times over.
Okay, interesting.
But we bought out at exactly the right time and have taken the company from strength to strength since then and grown a huge amount since that time. So I think everything worked out exactly as it was supposed to. And it was, but yeah, for me, I think I'm quite risk averse, and I wouldn't have taken the plunge without that kind of backup behind me. So yeah, but now completely different. I tell people, if you have a skill, just go and do it.
Yeah, that shift in mindset, because I'm in a very similar place to where you were in terms of I've got my 2nd kid on the way, but even before, it's stepping up and taking that risk. I never really imagined it. It was always your kind of dream, setting up this agency, and I was just kind of almost tagging it.
Steady paycheck, please. Yeah.
But now, after 9 months, you're like, why didn't I do this before?
Yeah, literally. It is that, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's almost, this is what we're trying to do with building, show people a different way and another way. And you've obviously suggested you'd do it again sooner and stuff. Did you ever imagine running a business when you were younger? Was it something that you were closed off to completely?
Not really closed off to it. I think, it's, for me, I have my strengths and I have my weaknesses, and my weaknesses are very much around the admin side. I think we recently did which is really interesting actually, if you grow the business, I'd highly recommend this. We did an Insights Day, which is like personality testing but based on colour profiling, and we had someone come in and do a whole day for our whole team, and actually myself and my business partner are the exact opposite sides of the spectrum, so it works so perfectly because I am a green yellow and she is a red blue, so we balance each other out perfectly. So on my own I couldn't do it, but together we are.
So it's interesting though,
very
because
powerful.
like when you talk, like we had this with another guest where like I don't know if it's because of the cameras or like, but you're quite softly spoken now. But there's like an air of determination that comes through, which you like based on what you were saying there around like the risk aversion and things like that do not come through at all. Do you think it's just developed over time?
I think it really does depend on your situation. Yeah. So, I'll take any kind of risks, and I probably am. Now we're in the business, I'm definitely the risk taker as opposed to my colleague Tuesday. I'm the one that has pushed forward for social care people and like expanding, and I'm always saying, you know, come on, let's do this or let's do that. So I'm definitely the more risk-taking person within the business as it stands now. However, at the time, I think to leave a stable job with a good paycheck, with 2 kids and a mortgage, is very different from once you're in a successful business. You can take calculated risks based on money in the bank and, you know, what you know to be true at this point and what you've already achieved. Yeah, running your own business it's not for the faint-hearted, definitely. I never put my own money into this business, so for me that's the risk, isn't it? If I had my house on the line or my life savings, we've built this up from a very small pot, actually, from hardly any initial capital. To a point where we can employ 8 people, and you know we're profitable. So yeah, I think if somebody had said bet on yourself, that's the hard bit, isn't it? Where you go, okay, will I, won't I? Will I put everything on the line for it? I didn't do that, and I hold my hands up to that. Would I do that now? Yes, absolutely, I would do that now because I know what I know. But at the time, running a business is not just being good at your job. There's so many things to learn, like working with you guys. I didn't even know what SEO was particularly. I mean, I sort of did, but yeah, you're learning so much all the time. You know, I can be a good recruiter and I can know everything there is to know about, you know, recruitment in the social care sector, but do I know about tax returns and, you know, profit and loss sheets and SEO and marketing and finance and all the other things that come with it? It's not just, are you good at your job? Your day job.
Yeah, I think that was it for us, right? Like, we knew we were good at SEO, like we've been doing it for like 10 years. But then when the first VAT bill arrived, it was like, I called you. Like, what do I do? Like,
we have a mantra in our business where if we don't know, just pay somebody to do it. That's why we got you guys. We've been trying to do on the not-for-profit people side our own kind of website stuff for so long, and with this it was like, no, let's just get somebody that knows what they're doing, and that's what we do now. If we don't know, pay someone.
I think that's what we've come to learn, isn't it? At the start, like you're holding on to everything. So like
it's
did put
false
some money
economy
in.
Not to spend the money, I think.
Yeah, I think it is. And the time that you lose on doing things is absolutely insane. Like I wasted, this was quite recently, it was like 4 days ago, we had to do a confirmation statement for the first time. I wasted ages. Like I was like, what's my password to the government portals? Like, what am I doing? And I was like, actually, let me just message our accountant. And he was like, he replied in like 6 minutes, like, yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
I was like,
all that time. I know. I've been caught out, and you learn that along the way. Definitely. I mean, when we did our buyout, when we bought out our investors, we tried for ages to sort of sit and hash that out, and in the end, we just paid a firm to do it for us as a third party, and it was the best money we ever spent. So, yeah, it's making sure you've got the right people on board, whether that's staff or contractors or, you know, other stakeholders. I think is absolutely vital to getting it done and getting it done quickly.
I suppose it also leads to another kind of area that me and you over the past 9 months we've really not struggled with, but it's finding our feet in terms of focus, understanding what levers to pull when, and you know what's going to help us grow the business as quick as possible. How important is, like, because again, like you've said, you're opening up different streams of business. How important is focus for a business owner? Really
important, and we have lost focus several times throughout this journey. We brought on board a non-exec director, actually, to make us accountable. He was actually my old managing director in a business that I worked at before this. He left there quite a long time before I did, but somebody that I really respected, somebody that has gone on to do other sort of director-level jobs, sits on other boards, and knows us really well, both of us. So for us to keep focus and to keep your eye on the ball, I think you need accountability, and it's really easy to get sort of distracted with the day-to-day, but until you come together and really focus back in on, okay, where's our bottom line? What's our priorities for this month? And we do that quarterly. So we'll have a quarterly board meeting where we will go through, projects, we'll go through the finances, we'll go through the staff, we'll go through any other sort of marketing ideas, all of that sort of thing, because it just brings that focus back again. So Tuesday and we have a monthly management meeting, and then we'll have a quarterly directors board meeting as well. And until we started doing that, the focus was sort of all over the place, because you kind of think you know what you're doing, but you get distracted. And then do your minutes and be really strict and professional about it, because it's easy as a small business to not do that and think, well, we all know what we're doing, so let's just crack on, and the focus goes out the window. Yeah. So yeah, that's how we managed that.
You strike me as well as being very good at making decisions quickly.
Yeah.
A, is that true? And B, how have you found making those decisions in the business over the past few years?
It gets easier, certainly. And yeah, I would say we, as a business, are very agile. We make decisions quickly, and that's what I like about owning my own business and it being quite a small business, is that you are able to make quite quick decisions. I've worked in large PLCs and other organisations where decisions take so long to go up and down the chain, and it can be very frustrating. Whereas, we can decide we want to do something that day, and we'll do it. So, I would say I'm definitely the faster decision maker out of the two of us.
Yeah.
But it's only based on experience. I wasn't at the beginning.
Yeah.
Everything would sort of be thrown around for a little while before a decision was made. But now, experience means that you can be a bit quicker at making decisions and know what works and what's not going to.
Yeah, if you could go back to 2018, what would you tell yourself?
Oh, good question.
I've been preparing this one.
I don't know. I'd answer that.
What would I tell myself in 2018? Oh, do you know? I think about this a lot, because obviously we've been through quite a bit with the buyout and taking on and there's not a thing I would change about our journey. The people that we brought on had amazing skills and really helped us launch the business, and went out of it, came into it at the right time and came out of it at the right time. I would probably say just have more faith in our ability to make it work, because I was very nervous and quite reserved at the start. Just work really hard.
That was going to be my next question. How much has gone into your journey over the past 5-6 years? Has it been working all hours, or have you been dedicated because of, personal circumstances? You had to set certain times.
We've always been really careful not to let it take over everything, and I think as a business owner, it's really easy to do that. Both of us are parents to 2 children, so we've both got 2 boys. Been going 5 years. My youngest is 12, so he was quite young, and Tuesday's youngest is only 7, so he was only 2 when we launched this business. So it's really important to work hard, but also have that work-life balance. And I think that we try as an employer as well to make sure that people have that work-life balance, to the point where we only work a 35-hour week. We work 9 till 4:30 every day with a half an hour lunch break, because we want people, as we work in Olney, we employ people from lots of different counties.
Do you work 9 till 4:30 though?
Do you know what? Most of the time, I work when I need to work. So, my laptop is always on. I never go anywhere without it, anywhere. I took it to Dubai with me recently. It comes everywhere with me, because the buck stops with me. If something needs to be done, it needs to be done. If a bill needs to be paid, I need to log on and do it. If something needs to be answered, I need to do it. So I'm never not at work. But I'm also not at work all the time either. But that's the beauty of owning your own business. You can be really flexible. Like Tuesday and I were in London last week, and we spent half of the day working and half of the day we went to the theatre. So,
Nice.
We get the work-life balance. But then other nights we might be sat there at 9 o'clock at night still still typing away. So it's important that we get the flexibility, but that it doesn't take over, because that's when you burn out. I think you've got to keep the love for it, and I think that's why it's successful, is because we both just love it so much.
Do you love it because it's purposeful in terms of, obviously, the care industry? It's very purposeful for everyone, essentially. Or do you actually enjoy the hustle, if you would?
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. I wouldn't want to do it in any other sector. I wouldn't want to work in recruitment in the private sector. Yeah. I love the clients. I love, living the mission of, we're here to help you as a charity. Recruitment consultants are a bit like, estate agents and lawyers and whatever. People are a little bit wary. As a recruitment consultant, it's not the best kind of look for most people. But we really try and make sure that people understand that we're not recruitment consultants in that way. We are there to really help the charities and the social care organisations to do what's right for them. And if that means not using us, then we will tell them that 100% of the time. Some of my best clients that use us now, in the first meeting, I said, no, don't use us, it won't work. So then they went away, did something else, and came back and used us for something different. But yeah, for things like nurses, I get a lot of social care clients saying, oh, I've got nurses and I can't fill them. And I'm like, I can't fill them either, no one can. So don't be spending your money on job boards, because it won't work. Yeah. And I think the integrity of what we do in the sector that we work in is why we love it.
That's really interesting, because I think SEO agencies almost get
we
similar...
definitely have that. Yeah, as soon as you say, I'm from an agency, people just veer off into a different
area. And I think that's quite a lot to do with maybe the 100 emails you get in your inbox. Would you like to improve your SEO? Which is why we went for somebody local and not somebody, overseas that promises you the world and probably doesn't deliver an awful lot.
Yeah,
exactly. But how have you helped build your brand and the trust behind it, and made yourself different from other recruiters?
I think a lot of it is through our free training.
Okay.
Our training is completely genuine. Sometimes you go on these webinars and they're a thinly veiled sales pitch.
Yeah.
And we don't do that. We obviously tell people at the very end, this is what we do, but the training is the training. And we collaborate with other organisations and do guest webinars and things like that as well. So I think that all really helps. We offer free one-to-ones off the back of that as well. So we'll have Teams meetings with organisations, even if they've not got a single penny to spend on advertising, because we want to give back to the sector. And yeah, I think if you live and breathe that, then the sales will come. And that's kind of the ethos that we live by, is build the relationships and the sales will come. I was on the phone to somebody for an hour this morning. I think probably 5 minutes of that was talking about selling or what we do. And the rest of it was just conversations. And that's what we love about it, is that it's just building relationships and having conversations with people that are struggling with a certain area of their business and where we can add some value potentially. And that's how we try and build the brand, is really live the values. And that the value for us is, we want to help you save money and time and do a better job of recruitment. But as a charity, they work so hard for every penny. You've got fundraisers out there working for every penny that goes into that charity, and social care organisations that don't have, an awful lot of income. To go and waste that on really costly agencies when they don't need to is criminal. And it needs to be stopped. So we just tell them the truth. That's how we build our brand.
Fair. That all makes sense. And has that always been the case, or have you learned that?
No, that was the mission from day one. Yeah, that's Perfect. What we built the business on.
Perfect. You can tell it kind of that passion radiates. So
Without that, and we really, really sort of reiterate that when we're hiring staff as well. We don't want like hardcore salespeople in our business. No, thank you. Like, we're not about cold calling or picking up the phone and just bashing the sales out. You will build relationships with these people, and if you've, regardless of your target or whatever else monetary, if you don't feel it's right for that client, you do not sell it, because I will tell them myself. Like, that is the first and foremost. And I think if you build it, then they will come and they will buy things. So yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned targets and money and all of that. How do you tread that kind of line between obviously making enough to keep the lights on and serving the people that you serve, essentially?
You have to keep a very close eye on the margins and do all the boring business stuff. And, you know, like I said, we've always been lucky enough. Luck's the right word, but we've always been profitable from the get-go. And we've had ups and downs like COVID, and now in a cost of living crisis, we're definitely seeing a downturn this year compared to last year. But yeah, we just keep a very close eye on it and make sure that, you know, we pull back where we need to. We never overextend. Never been in debt as an organisation. We've always made sure that we organically grow when we're ready to do so, and that's how I try and, you know, live my whole life, really. I think, you know, like I said, you know, I might seem like I take risks, but financially, I think we're very risk averse, to make sure that we're never putting other people at risk. So whether that be the clients or our staff or anything like that.
Have you ever put yourself in a position where you almost overextended and felt, I'm never doing that again?
Yeah, like an oh shit moment.
Yeah.
When we bought out, it was an oh shit moment where we went down to sort of...
Johnny, I think that might be our Nando's. They might need a code, though. That might be what it is. Oh, you're just getting into the good stuff as well. Deliveroo, is it? Yeah. No way. Do you need a code, mate?
I do.
Okay, no worries.
This bit can be cut out.
Yeah, the guy said that he was doing.
Yeah, we're broadcasting live.
That's all good. Did I look at my phone on my laptop? Hang on, let's have a look.
That's what I said, Rat and Bread is Salary Live.
9.
Yeah, this is for the outtakes system.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Where we went, do you know what? We'll get, I think at the time you could still get a loan, like a zero from COVID, like a business loan. And we would never have needed it, but we got it.
Okay.
It was such a low cost loan that we just thought, do you know what? Let's just get it, so that it was, because we went down to the wire, buying the guys out, and then built it back up again. It was all happy days within about 9 months to a year. But yeah, that was the oh shit moment after COVID, really. But no, it's all been fine since then.
What about the opposite? What are you most proud of?
Wow, it's a hard thing, because there's not sort of like one standout thing that says, you know, that's what we did that I'm most proud of. But I think overall, being able to support, it's something that we built, being able to support 8 people. Our office I really love, you know, go in there. We even have a little plaque that says this is our happy place. Like, it's just just walking in there just brings us joy. And yeah, I'm proud of that, proud of the brand, proud of how we've expanded, and every time we go out and do, you know, like a show or a conference we recently presented an award at the Third Sector Care Awards a couple of weeks ago. You know, I was in a big ballroom in Birmingham, and presented an award to a care organisation, and our name was on the wall, you know, as a sponsor. And that was a moment where we were, do you know what, we're really proud of this brand, proud of what we've achieved in order to be able to get here to present this award. So yeah, stuff like that, when you sort of can give back to the sector and be recognised as a brand. I think that's moments where you step back. You don't take many, where you step back and you go, wow, look at what we've done. And we always try and do that, myself and Tuesday, the other director. You know, we do take one weekend a year where we go out of the business and we go away together as our kind of well done, pat on the back treat, where we go, this is where we can reflect on it.
I reckon we could get golf signed off based on that.
Exactly.
Hour and a half. No, we were told by Claire that we should do this.
Well, we've done it ever since we bought out. So for the last 3 years, done a spa, and we went to Edinburgh, and we're going to Italy in next month.
See,
you can see the progress there.
Yeah, exactly.
So the business is getting slightly better. There's more to dissect. So we've said every year we're going to do that once a year, where we do reflect and we go, well done to us.
So you do reflect on the business.
Yeah.
You kind of run through that. Okay, is it scheduled or do you just talk about it naturally?
We just talk about it. Yeah. It's not like our board meetings. It's just a chance to sort of like reflect on it all rather than looking at the nitty gritty.
Do you learn from that reflection, or is it more about kind of like just giving you an energy boost for the next year coming?
Probably a bit of both, really. Yeah. Some of our best decisions have been made probably late night over a glass of wine, and when we just sort of make decisions on the fly. But I think it's important to step away and not be in the office or in a place of frustration or the day to day, and you can step away, have a nice time, relax, and then go, oh, what if we did this, or how about that, or wasn't it good when this, or whatever. And it does give you a bit of perspective. And we spend a lot of time making sure our staff are valued and that they get rewards and things like that, and it's important to go, no, we did this.
You mentioned staff. So mentioning staff gives me a good segue into my my favourite interview question that I used to ask when we were hiring people was, so it's like a 2-part question, which is, how would you describe yourself? And then do you think your staff would say the same thing?
Funnily enough, we've just had our insights training. So, what came out about me is, I like to turn everything into a social event, apparently, and that meetings can often turn into a social event. Nice. I become easily distracted if bored.
Okay.
And I bring inspiration and perspiration.
Nice.
That was my... I
don't even know what
I don't know what that means. It sounds really weird. Yeah. I don't know. But I think, my staff would probably describe me as quite outgoing, the ideas person, the energy, that kind of thing. And then Tuesday's much more practical, responsible, the sensible one.
You always get that, don't you? Literally every time you speak to anybody, like, my business partner's
I feel like you're the me in this situation.
I reckon you would be there for the social.
I think we're half. We're definitely half and half. But I'm like you with the admin side. I spend most of my time. He's got OCD
with
that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I really like admin. Whereas
no, I do not.
The first, because we decided to so we invested in HubSpot as our CRM. I tell this story all the time because I was like, do we spend the money? Don't we spend the money? And Brendan was like, just spend the money because I'm sick of talking about it now. So as soon as we spent it, every day I called you for like 3 weeks. Brendan, have you done the admin yet? You're like, no, every time.
Exactly, but also from what you just said, one of your answers, like, you really struggle with that, the reflection. Like, he reflects, and what he says is, instead of going, that's amazing, we've got to this point in our journey, he'll be like, we should have been here. Okay. He sets kind of
I'm not very good. I feel like having a therapy session.
I can give yourself a pat.
I don't. I'll do the golf part, but I'm not very good at the patting myself on the back part.
Like, we love that. Just a big, okay, well done us, aren't we awesome?
That's Monday sorted.
But are you driven by targets yourself, or is it just keeping
what's the drive? That's a good question.
Yes, we are. We obviously have our targets, and but I think it's not just about money on the board and those sort of targets. When we look at what we've done this year, we've achieved more as a business this year than we did last year. Last year we made more money, but this year we've hired staff. We've launched the new agency division. We've launched social care people. The job board's getting up and running. We've invested in things that we never thought that we would, like you guys, for example. That's a big investment for us. And we've always tried to muddle on ourselves up until this point and not really sort of put our money where our mouth is almost and actually really invested in something. So I think it goes beyond just monetary targets, and actually look at where we were this time last year, look at where we are now, and the extra things that we've got and where it could be. We set ourselves objectives, not just monetary targets.
Yeah, I think most of ours aren't monetary, really, are they? They're like,
yeah, to be fair,
the things that we write down.
Yeah.
We like whiteboards. Whiteboards are
We've got about 5 whiteboards.
I like to write things down. Not many of them.
And a Google Doc for everything.
Yeah. Good. That's a good thing to mind about Brendan about he creates Google Docs, but he doesn't put them in folders, so you can't find them. Where do you?
You've got a search function.
I have so many. I never create a Google Doc, but Tuesday creates one for everything.
Okay.
And
Inbox, is it inbox 0, or have you got 10,000 emails sitting?
I can't let my inbox get over 50.
Okay.
My inbox usually sits somewhere between 15 and 50.
Do you put the emails into folders?
Yes.
See?
Okay.
See?
Yes.
I think we're done.
I think we are.
Nice.
Brilliant.
That's it. Nice, we're done. We can get our Nando's now.
Yeah. Quick, wrap it up. It's getting cold.
So funny.
Really.